On today's episode, we start with an emotional interview featuring Vivian, a close friend of Valeria Marquez, who shares her side of the story following the tragic live stream incident where Valeria lost her life. Vivian opens up about the events of the day, the impact on Valeria and her circle, and the healing process in the aftermath.
In the second half, we shift gears into a timely report on the current wave of mass ICE deportations sweeping across the country. We'll break down the latest developments, hear from community reactions and protests, and also explore what this means for immigrant families on the ground. It's a powerful episode addressing both personal trauma and national urgency. Chelo, and we are live. Welcome back to the episode. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back, Chelo.
I'm back.
Yep. All right. So, welcome back. Today is going to be episode, I believe it's 120. Do you recall?
I don't know what number we're on.
I think it's episode 120. So, first and foremost, just want to say thank you for tuning in. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and also let us know what you guys like. Leave those emojis that we select towards the end of the channel. Not the channel, but at the end of the video, we'll choose a special emoji for the episode where you guys can comment down below. And also, we would love to hear your guys' feedback. Also, just want to give a brief shout out. So we also got a super thanks from Aldo. So thank you for giving us a super thanks. Super thanks is pretty much a small donation that helps out the channel. So thank you, Aldo, for doing that for us. It really means a lot. So thank you. Just so you guys know how we're going to break down this episode, we're going to break it in two halves. Over the first half, we're going to be touching base on the latest updates of Valeria Marquez incident, which Vivian, she gave an interview this past Friday, and there was a lot of things to take away from it. The whole interview was in Spanish, but we're going to break it down here in English, and we're going to play some of those clips. Obviously, they're going to be in Spanish, but we're going to give a description of those videos before, and we're going to give our take, so on and so forth. And also we're going to touch on what people are speculating and are saying after the interview. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Chelo. So you watched, and you've seen a lot of clips going around on TikTok of the Vivian interview with Mafia and TV. What'd you think about it? What'd you think of the whole interview?
I honestly think Mafian was like on her side. I feel like Mafian usually he likes talking his shit before he interviews somebody or when he's like talking about a certain situation. But when it came to her, I feel like he was like, kind of like don't say anything, like don't throw hate at her. And I feel like he like the whole interview or the part of the interview that I saw, he was just on her side.
I saw a couple of people that were saying that people were saying that he could have even gotten bought out, right? And this whole interview was to help out Vivian's case, to almost make her look like she's innocent. Yeah. Do you feel like that's what you took away from it?
I feel like that's what I took away from it.
What in specific? You think the questions that he asked, they weren't as
I feel deep? It's the way that he addressed things, very kind of calm, and I feel like on his other videos, he's really direct or les quiere sacar la sopa a fuerzas.
Really? I haven't really watched any of his interviews in the past, but what I did take away that he did mention, and he did put it out there, he wanted to make sure that people knew who Vivian was, right? To know where she came from, give a picture of her story. That way people can actually get to know her a little bit before the deep questions.
But then why would that even matter? Why would we even care about who fucking Vivian is? We want to know the facts.
Okay.
We don't fucking care. I think at the beginning he was what school did you go to? Were your parents strict? Esto y el otro. Eso que tiene que ver with Valeria's death. That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Why it was there. Maybe that was the deal they had.
Because that makes it seem that it was all about her. It wasn't even about Valeria.
True. Okay, that's a very good point, because, and that's something that a lot of people are saying, though, that this whole interview, it almost seemed like Vivian was trying to make herself appear a specific way, and she was trying to claim her innocence, and not once did it seem like there was some sort of empathy and emotion towards the actual incident of Valeria Marquez actually losing her life. Like, you couldn't really see any tears, any emotion, right? And a lot of people in the comment section were saying that if that would have been me as a friend, that I lost a friend, I would be like heartbroken.
I think Vivian, the way that she expresses herself, it's giving psychopath. Because she's very like calm, like, I don't know, it's just, she gives me a weird vibe. Okay.
What's something that you saw in the interview that caught your attention? Anything that she said?
I know when I was watching the interview, I saw this because they had the comments on, and somebody that was a psychologist was like, from a psychologist's point of view, like, her body language and a lot of things don't make sense with what she's talking, like, with what she's saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. That's crazy. I didn't know there was somebody like reading her body language.
Yeah, somebody in the comments put it.
That's interesting. But anything that she said, that Vivian said, that caught your attention out of the whole interview? Or do you want me to kind of like go?
No, just could you?
Yeah. Also, okay. I got a couple of videos lined up, and maybe from there it'll spark your thought process, and then we'll take it from there. So as we stated, the first one I have here is.
You could turn on the air. It's getting hot.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're sweating already. I can see your forehead.
Yeah, it's getting hot. Okay. Okay, so this one, I'm not sure how to take away from it, right? So I want to hear your point of view, and you guys can let us know in the comment section, right? But so Mafian TV tried to help Vivian with the interview. She said when she saw Valeria collapse, so this is the part where Vivian is saying that she was actually watching the live, obviously, right? And she saw where Valeria actually collapsed, right? So when she first saw that, she said she was unsure if it was an actual like event happening or if it was a prank. But then she goes along, and then she says that she called the uncles right away to let them know, and for them to be aware that there could have been a possibility that something happened to Valeria, right? So, but then she goes and says that later on she confirmed through other videos and in the comment section that it was actually like factual that Valeria Marquez actually had passed away based on the comment section. But a lot of people were saying that Mafian TV had to correct her because it's kind of contradicting, right? At first she says that she thought it could have been a prank. So why even call the uncles? Like if it was a prank, right? So she's saying, oh, like, yeah, I wasn't even unsure because technically if you're watching it live, you never expect something like that to happen. So you were just going to be kind of like whatever, right? But then later on, she said she got it clarified through other videos. So almost the speculation here is kind of saying that she was unsure, but then Mafian TV, she's like, oh, but you didn't know, but then later on you got clarified that it was in the comment section. So it's kind of weird, but people were saying that that's the part where Mafian TV, the interviewer, was trying to help her with her case on explaining the facts.
I just feel like that sounds like more of she's writing herself out and she's like, oh shit, ya metí la pata, like let me rephrase myself.
Okay, so let's play it. It's going to be in Spanish, but if there's anything key that she says, we'll go ahead and kind of explain it.
O sea, como esperando en el chat a que me respondiera, fue cuando vi o sea, como de reojo de la pantallita chiquita que tenía en el teléfono, vi lo que pasó. Entonces, como vi que como que se agachó, dije, le lanzaron confeti, entonces hice la...
Okay, she says, oh, I didn't know what was happening. I thought somebody had thrown confetti to her.
Yeah.
el acercamiento al en vivo para que me lo mostrara ya en cámara grande. Y fue cuando ya la vi que ya estaba pues con su cabello como cubierto de lado. Entonces no entendí qué había pasado hasta que vi que se empezó a, pues literal, a caer a la mesa. Uh-huh. Entonces pues lógico me preocupé muchísimo, luego me levanté, le marqué a sus tíos, porque sus tíos no estaban en la estética en ese entonces, no recuerdo por qué.
Okay, so right there she says, oh, her uncles weren't at the salon. And people are saying, well, how do you know they weren't at the salon, right? Now, not sure if maybe in the live Valeria Marquez said, oh, I'm here by myself or whatnot, but people are starting to speculate, well, how do you know who was there and who was not?
Yeah.
Okay. Pero no estaban en la estética.
Okay.
Entonces les marqué, les dije que creo que le había pasado algo, o sea, que no estaba muy segura porque no se vio muy claro, porque lógico en el momento pues yo no lo vi como ya después de ver todos los videos bien. En el momento yo no lo vi claro.
Cuando tú lo viste, cuando percibiste esto, en el momento que viste que se desploma e hiciste grande la pantalla, ¿qué decían en los comentarios? O sea, ¿fue así como te diste cuenta que era real o cómo está el rollo?
Sí, pues estaban diciendo estaban sorprendidos, o sea, decían de que qué pasó, que si era una broma, que había pasado, o sea, que clarito se vio.
What'd you get from that?
She's contradicting herself.
Did
she's
she?
trying to cover herself up, because why would she say that? Why would she say in the first place, like, oh, she got shot?
Right.
And then she's like, oh, like, they thought it was a joke.
Yeah, you see, that's a part that people are kind of like she's kind of like trying to cover something up.
Pararon. Entonces, aparece esta persona, apaga el live y ya fue cuando yo directamente le marqué a sus tíos.
Ok. Entonces, tú lo mencionaste con los tíos y ahí fue donde ¿qué te dijeron sus tíos? ¿Te contestaron el teléfono? ¿No te contestaron? ¿Qué te dijeron? ¿Están bien? ¿Qué te dijeron?
Sí, su tío me contestó, luego me dijo que no, pues qué pasó, como que no estaban viendo el en vivo porque me contestó muy normal. Le dije que, oye, la verdad no sé, no estoy segura, márcale a Valeria porque creo que le pasó algo, creo que la balacearon, o sea, lo que estoy leyendo. Entonces, la neta, yo no sé, ahorita yo ya me estoy cambiando, voy camino para allá, pero quiero saber qué pasó, o sea, no entiendo. Entonces ya me cuelga, como que le marcó, no sé si a Valeria o si le marcó a la otra muchacha, no,
okay,
eso no estoy segura.
How would she have known que la balacearon if it was muted?
I think the way that she said, she actually saw her collapse in the live. Yeah. And I guess there was the splatter, right?
Yeah.
Sí.
Pero pues yo ya estaba pidiendo pues mi Uber para ir camino para allá.
Para irte al lugar. Oye, lo primero que se te ocurrió fue marcarle justamente a sus tíos, que obviamente es con quien tienes confianza, ¿no? Les marcaste inmediatamente y, oigan, está pasando este rollo. Ellos no vieron el en vivo, ¿no? No lo vieron, pero esto se detonó.
No lo estaban viendo.
Bendito sea que no lo vieron. Y bueno, ¿ahí qué haces? O sea, te cambias, te estás cambiando, Vivian, y luego
no sabía
pasa?
Ni qué agarrar, estaba en shock. O sea, no, yo estaba en pijama, agarré lo primero que vi.
So she's saying that she was in PJs, that she was in shock, and she ended up just putting on whatever clothes to head over there to the salon and to grab an Uber.
Y literal agarré un pantalón y creo que era esta misma chamarra la que traigo. Y me salí, o sea, literal me fui.
Agarraste el Uber, el Uber registrado incluso, entonces
claro.
me estás diciendo que salió un Uber, entonces el Uber que lo puede investigar a la perfección la fiscalía, que sale un Uber de tu casa.
Esperando en el chat.
Yeah, so the interviewer is saying that, well, obviously you grabbed an Uber, so that's documented, so people can say, like, the court can actually see that you actually got the Uber right away, and pretty much your story is going to match.
Okay, but anybody can order an Uber. Like, you can order an Uber for Angel, and that doesn't mean you're going to ride the Uber. It could be for somebody else.
True. Okay. Let's read some of the comments. I feel like the comments kind of at times give some good pointers. So the people are obviously not believing her. It says, and the Oscar goes to Vivian de la Torre for the best liar. So obviously people are not believing her. For being a very close friend, she has no emotions.
True.
Guilty. Too much damn evidence. So she's trying to give too much.
She's talking too much and she's like, oh, the PJs, this, that.
Yeah, she's trying to describe everything, but I don't know. Maybe you're trying to describe as much as possible so you can actually tell your side of the story, possibly. Maybe. Okay, so let's see. I would be bawling describing how my best friend passed. She's just talking like something she did on a normal day.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that if I kept telling my best friend to stay and wait and then watch her get unalived, I'd be so devastated like I did it to her. No excuse for posting videos and acting normal right after. That is not normal, period. So, yeah, I guess in a sense, they're saying that because it was Vivian that was holding her up by sending her gifts,
stuff,
right? So that's a good point. And she should feel some sort of guilt and remorse, right? Like, oh, man, like I was the one holding her up. But not even once. I don't think that was addressed at all. That's a good point, right?
Because that was the whole point of why Valeria even everything happened, because she was getting hold up because of Vivian.
Yeah,
he kept telling her, like, I'm gonna send you something.
And I don't think she addressed any of that. Like, oh, I feel this, I feel bad, or I feel a certain way because I kept on sending her gifts in order for her to stay there. And not even once does she say that she feels bad. That's a good point, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So what do you take from that? You feel like so far people are not believing her? Anything else that you took away from that?
I don't believe her. Like, she has no emotions, and maybe you can say, like, oh, everybody's gonna react different to different situations. But
yeah, I know.
Her story does not line up.
Because just keep in mind, I do understand that when somebody passes away, there's times when you are in shock and you don't really process the actual events of that happening, right? It's very hard at times. Like, it's happened to me before that I don't cry. I'm just like, not, how can I say, like, I don't feel no emotions. Like, I'm
in disbelief.
I'm
in shock.
I'm just emotionally blocked. And that tends to happen. Or other people freaking just start crying like crazy. They start screaming. So it's very, like, people react different ways. But this is after the fact. And I feel like for something so big, you would feel a lot of emotions, especially guilt.
Yeah, I feel like maybe in the moment she could have been in shock. But then now, because it's already been like a month that the whole Valeria case happened, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it would have been enough time probably for her to process everything that happened. And maybe not that she was going to be bawling on the interview, but she was going to show like some type of emotion, and she has nothing. Like, it's like if it was a stranger. Yeah.
All right. So the other video that I saw is where she explains, I think this is what I got. Let me see. Okay. So she ends up getting the Uber, and she kind of explains how she got there and who she saw first at the salon after the fact. So Vivian goes to Valeria's salon after the incident happened, and she mentions that the aunt was the first one to arrive. Vivian, she also says in this next video that I'm going to play, Vivian didn't cry because she was in shock. Also mentions that she knows Valeria muted the live because she didn't want people to know who had sent the gift. So that's very key right there. She says that she knows for a fact that Valeria muted the live because she didn't want people to hear who the gift was coming from. It seems like she knows a thing or two. So.
Okay.
No, cuando yo llegué ya estaba...
¿Ya estaba la fiscalía o ya había gente, no? Digo,
No, cuando yo llegué ya estaba...
¿Ya estaba la fiscalía o ya había gente, no? Digo, la policía.
No, ya había gente, ya estaba cerrado todo con las cintas que les ponen.
Claro.
Okay, so she's saying that once she got there, the cops were already there and it was blocked off.
Pues solamente se podía estar en la banqueta. Solamente dejaban entrar, lógicamente, a familia directa.
¿Su familia la vio?
Sí, la primera que llegó fue una de sus tías.
Ella fue la primera que la vio en esas condiciones dentro de la estética.
Yeah. So her aunt was one of the first people to get there.
Sí.
¿Qué gritaba su tía cuando salió de ahí? Seguramente fue muy triste la escena.
Claro, no, pues estaba devastada, estaba llorando, yo la abracé, no sabía de qué otra manera pues expresar lo que estaba sintiendo, porque en el momento a mí no me salieron lágrimas, yo estaba en shock, o sea, no quería aceptarlo, o sea, en el momento en el que llegué no quería aceptarlo, cuando iba en el Uber no quería aceptarlo, estaba muy triste, estaba muy confundida, yo solamente quería llegar a verla, o sea, quería llegar a verla y saber que estaba bien, porque en mi cerebro no procesaba el que ella no estuviera allá.
So right there, she's saying that at that moment she couldn't process everything that was going on, which it can happen. I'm not saying that this is the case, but it can happen.
Entonces cuando llegué y todo se me hizo ya muy real, pues ya un sentimiento horrible.
¿Por qué crees que apagó el audio en el en vivo? ¿Qué es lo que te da a entender este rollo? Porque todos nos quedamos así de ¿por qué apagó el audio, no? O sea,
porque no quería que en dado caso que fuera de parte de alguien, pues supieran el nombre de esa persona.
O sea, ¿crees que por eso lo apagó? No quiere decir que le dijeran apágalo, no. O sea, quería obviamente proteger ese rollo para que no se supiera de quién era el regalo.
Sí, ella era reservada en esas cuestiones de los nombres. No, más que nada no quería que supieran quién había mandado el regalo. Porque es que todos pensábamos que sí era un regalo. O sea, nunca nos imaginamos que iba a ser eso.
Hablando de los regalos, ¿qué tan frecuente le mandabas regalos a Valeria? O sea, ¿qué tan...?
Okay, so the interviewer is asking how often would Valeria receive gifts?
¿Qué tan frecuente le mandabas regalos? Y obviamente saber qué onda con eso. O sea, ¿le mandabas regalos constantemente o no?
Pues el último mes que estuve con ella, más que nada le regalaba flores. O sea,
Ok.
de que íbamos de salida a fiestas, palenques y así, y en el palenque yo le compraba flores, o en las fiestas yo le compraba flores. De los peluches no le había regalado ya últimamente, porque como te digo que estábamos de pura fiesta, pues casi que nuestro dinero se iba en pura tomadera,
Claro.
en
Ahora,
puro transporte, comidas y así.
ahora cuéntame algo. Entonces, sí le regalabas cosas de manera constante.
Sí.
¿Qué tan frecuente?
Okay, that part I got a little confused. I thought they were talking about like how often would she receive gifts from people, but I guess the question, or I don't know if she took the question different, but understood the question different. But I guess she was saying that she was the one that was always gifting her roses, and that it was a common thing that she would do for her.
Yeah, that's what she said. That when they would go out, she would give her flowers. But I don't even think, did she even address what she was sending Valeria? That she was holding her back? Because she's like, oh, te voy a mandar un regalo. What was the present?
I don't know. That's a good question. But I think the third gift, it wasn't from her, though. I think it was a gift from somebody.
Because that's the thing, though. Like, what was it that she wanted her to have so bad that she had to, like, stay there? Because couldn't she just send it to her house?
You know what? I think that's a very good point, because I think she must have known, because she kept on saying, oh, es un regalo caro. It's a very expensive gift.
Exactly.
Right? So she allegedly would have known what the gift was, apparently, right?
Yeah, because why would you say it's expensive? Unless you know what it is.
Or was it just a gift of like that they were going to take her life away and there was no gift?
Right? It could have been that too.
Or, and this is a conspiracy, right? That supposedly the actual gift was going to be a real gift. And then supposedly that's where Erika did the action or the act of taking her life. But that's the part that nobody knows. So who knows if there was an actual gift, or
if it was all set up.
Yeah, or the so-called gift, it was just a setup.
Okay,
los regalos que le dabas.
No te puedo decir como una regularidad. Solamente cuando a mí me nacía darle el regalo, se lo daba. O sea, yo literalmente casi siempre se lo daba cuando la veían en vivos, cuando todavía no estaba muy de que estuviéramos juntas como ese último mes. que estuvimos de que juntas todo el día, o sea, todos los días.
Okay. Yeah, so...
Okay, right now that she said, oh, every time we went out, I would always buy her flowers. Don't you think that's weird?
Yeah, that is weird. And that's another thing, too, that they were saying. I saw a TikTok that they were saying that they dated or something like that.
Okay, that's where I was going with it. Because I saw another, I don't know, I think I sent it to you, but I don't know if you saw it. There's a lady that was talking about this whole situation, and I guess there's a guy that's from the FBI that he's like a psychic, and he did a reading on them, and he said that they were a couple.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
And then I guess Vivian was jealous or something happened, and that's why pasó lo que pasó.
So, like a jealousy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of did see something like that they were speculating that they were a couple because obviously, like, as a friend, when was the last time you, like, gave roses to a friend?
Probably just on their birthdays, but that's why I was going with that, because it's not like, oh, I'm gonna give my friend flowers every freaking I don't know, I just think that's weird.
It's not a common act that girls do that, like, here are your flowers, buying flowers for your friend, like maybe like if they graduate or her birthday or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But not a common thing. And she kept on saying that she would do that whenever they would go out and stuff.
Yeah, so then if they were going out every weekend, then it was a every weekend thing.
Yeah, so the next clip that I'm going to be showcasing, this is where Vivian mentions that there was another friend of Valeria that apparently Valeria and this other friend were mad at each other. But since Vivian was no longer partying, since she started a relationship, she began becoming friends with the other friend of Valeria. So technically, Valeria was mad at this other girl. Vivian was kind of like stepping away from the party life, so she decided to become friends with this other friend of Valeria's, but that friend of Valeria and Valeria were mad at each other.
So she became friends with the enemy?
Pretty much, exactly. So and that's a part where they say that, hey, if a friend of my enemy is also my enemy, something along those lines, but pretty much
El enemigo de mi enemigo es mi amigo.
Yeah, there we go. So that's so she became talking to that other friend that was pretty much having feud with Valeria, and it caused a feud between Valeria and Vivian, and they didn't talk for approximately 3 to 4 months. You know how they were like, they stopped talking. I don't know if you knew that from back then, but for one point they said they hated each other, and for 4 months they weren't talking with one another. Yeah,
I knew they hated each other, but I didn't know that it went on for like 4 months.
Yeah, and since Valeria was always doing lives, people from the following and in her live streams, people started like going back and forth between one of them, like, hey, she's saying this about you, and
he said, she said.
Yeah, just so a lot of back and forth. So there was a lot of back and forth, and it like just ignited more of a feud between Valeria and Vivian. So that was one of the main reasons why they stopped talking, because of the so-called friend, and then the followers in the lives would just make it bigger between one another.
Vale, en esos momentos tenía otra mejor amiga. Tenía una mejor amiga que lógico pues no puedo dar el nombre.
Okay. ¿También la están investigando, por así decirlo, o no?
Okay, so he asked, are they also investigating that friend, that so-called friend? Do you know?
Me imagino que sí, porque tiene pues que ver en su vida, tuvo que ver con una persona importante.
Okay.
En el momento en el que estuvo el pleito, ella estaba viviendo con esa mejor amiga.
Okay.
Entonces hubo un pleito por cuestiones de un muchacho. O sea, la que era su mejor amiga antes, pensó que pues le estaba tirando el rollo Valeria al muchacho que le gustaba.
Okay, so that so-called friend was dating this guy, and I guess the reason why they stopped talking was because she thought that Valeria was trying to get at that guy that their friend was originally dating.
Entonces hubo toda una bronca de que se empezaron a decir sus verdades. Yo estaba presente porque pues desde ese entonces yo ya llevaba pues de que me iba los fines de semana con ellas y salíamos y así. Entonces, pues estuve presente en ese pleito que tuvieron. Y como yo en ese entonces estaba regresando con mi expareja, no pude como tomar partido con Valeria por lo mismo de que como ella estaba saliendo mucho de fiesta y estaba en el rollo de pues de desmadre y de antros y así, y yo ya estaba regresando con mi expareja, pues no podía salir en cuestiones pues para cortas, en
Claro,
cuentas cortas.
claro.
Entonces pues ya empecé a hablarme más con la otra muchacha. O sea, ya llevaba un rato hablándome más con la que era su mejor amiga.
So in the captions, it was reading, so, okay, yeah, we understand possibly that you're not going out anymore to like parties and stuff like that, but how does that justify becoming friends of the enemy of your friend?
Yeah.
Claro.
Entonces, pues, fueron malentendidos que cuando ella hacía sus en vivos y cuando yo hacía mis en vivos también, ay, se están peleando mis
No
perros.
pasa nada, está bien.
Cuando ella hacía en vivos y yo también hacía en vivos, pues, por cuestión de, pues, para desaburrirnos un rato, sus fans, o sea, sus seguidoras, en esos momentos le decían que yo decía cosas de ella en mis en vivos que
Oh,
eran
ya.
malas, que
Ya
eran
entendí.
negativas.
Pero eso pasa,
En-
¿eh? Ojo, cuando te lleguen a un en vivo, porque a mí me pasa bien seguido, andan hablando mal de ti, puro choro, ni están hablando mal de mí ni nada, y lo único que
Exactamente.
quieren es que uno responda para que le lleven el chisme y generen esa controversia. Y entonces así llegaban a decirte eso, que decía cosas
No,
malas
le,
de ti,
le
¿vale?
decían a Valeria, le
Ok.
decían a Valeria que yo estaba diciendo cosas malas de ella o que yo estaba criticándolo así cuando jamás, o sea, nunca la critiqué en ningún en vivo ni nada por el estilo. O sea, yo hablaba de, pues, mi relación en ese entonces, me desaburría con la gente. Y pues ella también, o sea, ella siempre lo que hizo fue, cuando hacía sus en vivos, era platicar con sus seguidoras, llevar, pues, era muy apegada con sus seguidoras. O sea, ella
So pretty much she just said that they would go live and that's where the followers would go back and forth.
So at
And
what
just,
point does she fall off with the other girl?
not sure.
Because at what point does she and Valeria like make up for whatever happened?
Let's see if she clarifies it. But right now she's just saying that it was the followers pretty much making all this drama bigger than what it really was.
siempre trataba de procurarlas, de estar en vivos y así. Entonces, por lo mismo, a la vez como que se ponían muy, muy defensivas si pasaba algo de que, no sé, estuvieran hablando de ella en algún otro en vivo, porque muchas veces llegó a pasar que más gente estuviera hablando de ella en otros en vivos. Y sí eran cuestiones de que cuando no eran sus seguidoras fieles, eran otras personas las que iban y le metían cizaña de otros en vivos, como pasó con el mío.
Hey. Y de ahí viene la bronca, ahí es donde viene todo el asunto, ahí es donde empiezan a
Así
pelearse.
es. Sí, porque le empezaron a decir que yo decía, que la otra muchacha también decía de ella. Entonces fue un teléfono descompuesto que duró como unos 3, 4 meses que no estuvimos hablando.
¿Se pelearon grave? O sea, hubo faltas de respeto, ofensas y demás.
No, yo nunca, o sea, nunca fue como que nos distanciáramos de que ella me dijera, ¿sabes qué? No, no sé, o sea, alguna grosería, porque pues no sé si las puedo decir aquí.
Sí, sin pedos, aquí puedes
Sí.
hablarlo, claro, a huevo, por supuesto.
Bueno. No sé, de que yo le dijera de que, ay, chinga tu madre, o ella me dijera de que no, chinga la tuya, o algo así, jamás. O sea, simplemente fue como que yo me fui con esta muchacha porque lógicamente pues no podía salir en cuestiones de que ella estaba, pues Valeria estaba de fiesta. Entonces tomé partido de la otra niña y ella pues se separó lógicamente. Entonces nuestro grupito se dividió en dos.
Ok. Y es ahí
Entonces fue
donde
una
tomaron
cuestión de
partido,
que
claro.
fue una cuestión de que ni yo le dije nada, ni ella me dijo nada. Entonces fue ya después de un teléfono descompuesto de que decían que yo decía en los en vivos y así, hasta que ya pues pudimos hablar en persona.
Ese es el gran pedo, ese es el gran problema que ustedes tuvieron, ese es el gran chiste.
So yeah, pretty much she just went and said that yeah, it was the followers and they had a fallout, and then finally they were able to like make like everything right, and they became friends again. So the comment section says she's snitching on herself, guilty, too much damn evidence, no matter what she says. She's making this up so she can look innocent. Yeah, I agree. That friend is obviously her. She's not fooling anyone. She doesn't look sad at all. Yeah, I agree. She looks very calm. She looks very composed. She's just explaining things. Not once have you seen like no remorse.
Or her even pause or I don't know, something.
It almost sounds like she knows exactly what to say.
Like she had a script.
Yeah. At least that's what I'm taking from it. If my best friend got unalive, I would be terrorized and traumatized. If I'm repeating the story, I'm going to cry because I loved my best friend, but this girl has no feelings whatsoever. She's acting so innocent. She's guilty, period. She's overdoing the innocent voice. She's guilty. She's not even crying. I would be bawling my eyes. She's self-reflecting. That friend she's talking about was literally herself. Of course, Valeria is not there to talk about it. This girl is covering up for herself. So there's no pain in her voice. She wants to clear her name. Where's the lie detector test in all of this investigation? She said she doesn't suspect anyone, but yet she's deflecting by saying Valeria had an enemy that it could have been. She's contradicting herself. So, wait, what did it say? She said she doesn't suspect anyone. Oh, okay. So she's saying that there was no suspects. That Vivian, this girl, she couldn't imagine who it could possibly say or who it could possibly be, but yet she's deflecting by saying that Valeria had an enemy that it could have been. She's contradicting herself.
Yeah.
So, is the baby crying?
Yeah.
Does she have a bottle?
Yeah, she does. Hold on.
Quick reminder, we now have a call-in number where you guys can leave us voice messages, video calls. Let us know a story you would want us to share on the podcast, anything you want. The goal is being able to interact with the people that support the channel. Even if you're looking for love, we will find your true love on Nomas podcast. Also, for anyone that is interested on creating your own channel, we have our Amazon storefront linked in the description where you can find all the cameras we use, the microphones, the lights, the equipment, where all of our podcasts are recorded to. If you need any help with editing services, we are able to produce your entire podcast, edit your short form content from Instagram Reels, TikToks, etc. You can look at all of our content as reference and we got you covered. And finally, if you want to support the channel, you can leave us a super thanks down below, which will help us tremendously, and we'll make sure to highlight that comment on the upcoming podcast and give you a shout out. Now back to the podcast. All right, so anything else that you got from these videos or anything that you saw online, the comment section, for me, my point of view was that throughout this whole interview, it was almost like she was trying to say her case and her side of the story to make herself appear innocent, right? But like we stated, nowhere did she say, you know what, like I feel really bad because I was the one that was sending her gifts. And I feel such way about it. And also something that I saw a lot was that nowhere in that interview did she say that she wants justice for her best friend. Nowhere did I see that in the interview. It almost seemed like she didn't really care on what actually happened to her friend.
No, she doesn't. I think I was telling you, I don't know if it was the other day, but I told you, like, in a lot of like homicide cases, the person that did the act, they usually will be the ones that would help the family like look for the person that's missing or that is unalived. And they'll be giving like they'll be like probably one of the first people to like testify. And that's the vibe that Vivian is giving me. Plus, how long did it take for her to get for the Jalisco law enforcement to get a statement from her? Because I don't think they made her testify like right away. I feel like they took a while for her to testify.
Yeah, that's a good point. And the thing is, dude, it's just like, dude, with so much evidence, and yet again, there hasn't been anything out there publicized on like any movement from the authorities at all. And keep in mind that this case went super viral. I would always want to say that it went like nationwide, right? Even possibly worldwide.
Yes.
And it went super viral, and yet again, no freaking
no answers.
Yeah, no answers, or nobody has gotten arrested for this case. Now, imagine if this went super viral. Imagine those little cases that we don't even hear about.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking crazy. There's no hope. Like, literally, people can get away with this stuff over there.
And, like, nowhere in the freaking life does she even say, like, oh, I miss Valeria or nothing. She doesn't say anything. Everything's about her.
Yeah, and she seems like nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't believe her. I don't care.
Yeah. It just seems too scripted. Who knows if the
plus she also has an attorney, just like the other girl, Erika.
Yeah. It just that was one of the biggest takes that I got, and a lot of people got, right. Like, nothing really was said that was too crazy over it. Yeah.
If she has an attorney, I'm sure that the attorney told her and Mafian what they could ask her and what they couldn't.
Yeah. Was there any pressing questions that that he said that towards her that we were asking for asking for answers? Anything in mind that
no, I can't think of anything right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think overall it was just kind of like nothing too crazy came out of that interview.
No, it's just kind of like, oh, it's like maybe almost talking about her childhood, and then it's like, oh yeah, Valeria died, and then that was it.
Yeah. What did she say about her childhood? Do you know?
Nothing very important. She just said that her parents were strict. I don't know. She said a couple things, but I mean, does that even matter?
Yeah, I'm looking for any additional clips that maybe would jump out, but no, I don't think it was too crazy. It just more than anything, like we stated, I think she's just trying to prove her case that she was apparently allegedly innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So if anything does come about, we'll probably mention it before the podcast ends. But now it's going to be the second half of the podcast, which it has to do with the current mass, I guess, ICE deportation that's currently going on. So I asked ChatGPT for kind of like a breakdown, because I was trying to give a brief description. Obviously, if you're on social media, you've seen so many different videos online on what's currently happening. But I asked for a breakdown, and this is the description it gave me. So federal authorities have ramped up aggressive ICE deportation rates in cities like Los Angeles, Santa Ana, Detroit, and Cincinnati, targeting undocumented immigrants, some without criminal records. Key point, some without criminal records. In LA, raids began June 6, led to hundreds of arrests and sparked mass demonstrations. Protesters blocked highways, clashed with federal agents who used tear gas, flash grenades, and rubber bullets, and vandalized property. In response, President Trump has federalized the California National Guard, deploying around 2,000 soldiers despite opposition from Governor Gavin Newsom, marking a rare and controversial federal override in modern U.S. history. Local officials and civil rights groups are denouncing the tactics as politically driven, authoritarian, and harmful to immigrant communities. Meanwhile, solidarity protests with slogans like "Melt the Ice" have spread to cities such as Detroit and Cincinnati. Do you feel like that gives a pretty good breakdown on what's actually going on? For me, one of the biggest things that I caught in that breakdown is that apparently Trump had said in the past that they were targeting people with criminal records. Mm-hmm. And now it's
everybody.
Yeah, it surpassed that already, and it's people that don't even have a record, and it almost seems like they're picking out anybody from the street.
I don't think at this point it's been about doing things right, and now it just comes down to the color of your skin. That's who they're targeting, because I saw this video on social media of this guy that said that I think his girlfriend got taken away, and she was a U.S. citizen, but she was Mexican.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're just going.
They're just getting people to get them.
Yeah, but they're going based on the appearance of the person, right? Like if you have brown skin or things like that, or if you fit the description.
Yes, if you fit the profile they were getting taken.
That's kind of crazy and scary at the same time. So something that I've also seen online is that these ICE agents don't look like your regular ICE agents. Like these people are covering their face fully, right? You can't even see their face. Another thing too is that a lot of them are not even identifying themselves. So it seems very odd that these people don't look like your average ICE agents. But yeah, who knows if this is all speculation, but the way that they're going about these this mass deportation, it almost seems like they're trying to cause rage and cause chaos to the masses, and I think they're achieving it.
Yeah, because then everybody's acting like a fool, burning cars, burning certain places, throwing them. Did you see that video from the freeway? They were throwing a bunch of things to the highway patrol.
Yeah, that's insane.
Or the other cops that were in the restaurant, or I think the restaurant employees were helping them. I think somebody threw tear gas at them, at their face or something like that.
Yeah. So before we start diving into this, it's just I want to say from my current perspective is that I've always said this: as long as they keep people divided between two sides, the people at the top are always going to win. I feel like there's always going to be two sides, two oppositions, and as long as they always continue doing that, they're always going to win. Why? Because one side is going to feel a certain way, and then the other side is going to feel the opposite, and it's going to clash. People are going to go back and forth, and the case will continue. Like this whole incident is going to continue. Now, I do want to say that a lot of these protests and a lot of this wild things happening, like you said, like people throwing things to the cars, burning buildings. It almost reminded me of the Black Lives Matter incident, right? That it seemed like it was initially started for protests, but then it created vandalism. Mm-hmm. So I feel like there was a very much parallel between one to the other. It doesn't help that obviously everything that this ICE deportations or immigration deportations are going on, they're just doing things not the right way. So obviously it's going to cause a lot of rage with the community. What do you think?
Yeah, I think for sure, obviously ICE is not doing things right, but then people acting out there like a fool, it's just another proof of like, that's why they don't want us here.
Yeah. What's something that you've seen? What's your side of the spectrum? Do you agree with these immigration deportations happening, or you're against it? What are your thoughts?
I'm against it because even if people are doing things the right way, I feel like at this point it doesn't even matter if you're doing it the right way or the wrong way, because they're still gonna take you. Like the people that were going to court for their hearing, they were getting taken like as soon as their court was done, or if they went to the freaking bathroom, they were taken, or if they stepped out and their attorney wasn't with them, they were taken. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like, damn, like people were trying to do things the right way and they still got taken, and it's just like, what now? Yeah.
So you said you're against it then?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so now this is very controversial, right? Why do you feel like it's wrong from the government to be doing that when technically they did something illegal by them crossing to the U.S.? What are your thoughts with that? They obviously did it illegally, so they have a case in that sense, right?
Yeah, but then the government is just contradicting themselves, because they even said in the beginning that they were just going to deport people that had a criminal record. So if you have a criminal record, and I just feel like even then on the criminal record, it depends what you have.
Yeah.
But let's just say like you have something bad on your criminal record, then I would be like, okay, yeah, like take this person back where they were from. But then if you don't, then why?
Yeah, because that's one of the biggest arguments that I've seen online, right? That they said, well, obviously they might not have a criminal record, but you crossed illegally. That's why they're trying to deport you. You know, but I think anybody here in the United States knows that the majority or the big mass of Mexican people, or people in general that come from Mexico, they build America. You know, they're the ones building all these houses, these buildings, so all these the hardworking labor out in the fields. It's the Mexican people or from Mexican descent that, you know, they do a lot of the jobs that other people or other races don't want to do or can't to do. Why? Because it's tough. That's why you can ask anybody, right? That's why Mexican people have their reputation of being one of the hardest working race of people. Now, everybody knows that. Now, but yet again, you're deporting all these people. So what's the whole end result with this? That's the part that I don't understand. Why are you deporting them when you know that you need these people here in the U.S.?
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Like, you know, like, I don't know.
Because another side, too, is they say that all of this could be for this exact same reason, to cause rage and anger to the community. For the reason, who knows what? Right? We don't know. But then it's almost like one of those things that, like a magician, like keeps you distracted here. But then on the side, they're doing other things to keep you distracted with all of this, right? So, hey, focus all your attention here while we do this on the side that you're not even paying attention to.
Well, did you see that Elon and Trump fell apart, like their friendship fell apart, and then Elon posted something that I guess Trump is in the Epstein list?
Yeah, I saw that. So
I don't know if that has to do with all of this. I have no clue.
Yeah, because that hasn't even gotten too much.
Because how long has it been from the Epstein case, dude? Like, it's been like, I don't know how many years already.
Yeah. Okay, so with that, so I agree, right? So I've heard two sides, right? So one is that obviously possibly that's one of the reasons why they want to do all this distraction, one, to protect Trump. But then at the same time, I've heard the opposite, that it might be a planned event for Elon to say that about Trump and Trump being innocent, but in reality is going to push for people to ask for the list. Yeah, for the list of people that were there to finally release the list. But I really think if they wanted to release the list and see all those different names,
they would have done it already.
Yeah, they would have done it already. So it just, I feel all of this is freaking like, it's all planned out. It's all scripted to my point of view. I don't know. It's just, I almost feel like it's all these events are planned out way ahead of time.
I feel like regardless if they were to plan this out or not, I feel like it's just very sad seeing all the videos of everybody getting deported.
Okay, and you exactly, strongly agree, and we'll dive into that right now, right? So something you did mention is, and I was trying to pull it up right now, but I saw a post that over 600,000 immigrants come from Europe, from a European descent. But from all those different videos that we see online,
it's all just the Mexican people.
It's all Mexican people, and you never see any light-skinned people being detained and deported. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Like, why is it every time that there's something like this, it's always the Black Lives Matter or this? It's never like the Irish or the Italian, they're going to go make a riot because they're taking their people back.
Yeah, you never see that. You never see. So why? Because in reality, you and myself, we're here legally, right? I'm a citizen, and the thing is, they will only target people that look like us, but never anybody else.
The white people.
Yeah, and some of those are immigrants.
Yeah,
but you never see them being targeted. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know what they have against Excuse me.
Yeah, so here, something that I did see is that it seems like a lot of people are protesting against, like the ICE agents, and obviously whenever they see ICE showing up, a lot of people are pushing back on that. So let's see the first video.
Shame! Back up! Yeah, back up! Back up!
Yeah, so that looks very. I think that's military right there.
Yeah, I'm trying to read the very guy in the front. Like it says USM.
Yeah, I think that's possibly the National Guard, but yeah, I don't think that's ICE agents. But the title of it. Or the description of this video from Daily Mail, it says provoke community heckle ICE agents. So they're describing these agents as ICE, but they don't look like ICE.
No, they look like military people.
Shame!
So the thing is that what I did like is that a lot of people of white descent are the ones that are pushing back against those agents. So it's kind of cool to receive that type of support, Yeah. Because even they don't think it's right.
Mm-hmm.
Back up! Yeah, back up!
So let's see what the comment sections are saying. I love that public shaming is back. What war are they fighting that they need this much gear? This is what happens when they threaten a real community. People need to stick together. Why are they wearing masks and hiding their identities? Aren't they police? Why is this allowed? Ain't no way bro brought a grenade launcher. Goosebumps. We need more of this to protect the people. I will take all of us together united. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of people are saying that if it feels good to see the support from the community.
You know what they remind me of?
Of what?
How they're geared up. It looks like they're gonna go like when you see a war movie. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. So the next video, this one happened here in San Diego, and it was very, not sure if it's connected to this video in specific, but it's something very similar.
Okay, Nazi pieces of shit! Get the fuck out of our community!
So this happened in South Park. So ICE showed up to this restaurant.
1940 is calling. They want their Nazis back.
You look like your wife gives unenthusiastic hand jobs.
That looks like the owner.
They're saying that that's possibly the owner.
The guy with the white head.
Fuck you! Nazi piece of shit! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Nazis! Go home, Nazis! Go home, Nazis!
Fucking cowards! ICE are cowards!
Get the fuck out of our town! Look at you! Get over the fucking door, you loser! Get the fuck out of here!
Fuck out of South Park!
Get out of here! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out of our town, you stupid piece of...
Damn. They were going at it. Damn.
Right here! Up your fucking ass, you fat...
Oh, shit.
Dude, imagine if that would have happened in freaking Chicano Park.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, here's your opportunity. Get the fuck out! go.
So obviously people push back on all of this, which I've never seen this before. This much support against a cost like this, especially for immigration. I've never seen this, and the majority of people that are doing this are white.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen this in the past?
No.
So what are your thoughts with that?
Obviously, I feel like a lot of white people don't want Mexicans here, but I just think that that's just a little percentage of all the white people. I'm not going to say all the white people don't want us here, but there's just that percentage that don't.
Yeah. Well, what else have you seen online with TikTok videos?
Oh my gosh, I think the one that gets to me every time I come across it is that little boy that's with his mom, and she's having like a panic attack, and she looks like she's gonna pass out, and she's like, mommy, like aquí estoy.
Yeah.
And I think they were coming out of court when they got her. I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what it was. But yeah, she was like full blown like panic attack or anxiety attack. Yeah. And like she looked like she's gonna pass out, and the little boy's like trying to talk her out of it, and then she just like keeps like rambling.
Yeah, it sucks that these agents don't even seem to care on what they're doing. I know everybody has a job, right? But at the same time, look at what you're doing. Like, I know you have this job, right? But then at the end of the day, you're a human being, and doesn't it break your heart doing all of this? You know?
Yeah.
You would figure at least, right?
Mm-hmm. But then what about when people are like throwing rocks at the freaking highway patrols or the border patrols? Like, then what?
Yeah, so that's another thing too, because I was really trying to put myself on both sides of the spectrum, right? One, it's obviously these ICE agents are doing things that are not right.
Correct.
But then these people that are throwing rocks and burning cars are not doing the right thing either. But now it gets to the point that, like, how much have you been pushed as a community that you just got to the
breaking point?
Yeah, to the breaking point that you just like you're so over it. So now you have to start acting like that.
Okay, so another thing to that is, I think I sent you that one. The one that there's a bunch of highway patrol cars in the highway, and they're like throwing them. There's like scooters and like rocks and a bunch of things. And I saw in the comments that said that protest started as a peaceful protest, but then it escalated because law enforcement started throwing like tear gas, and that's when it got to that point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's what I didn't know. I was like, oh, like maybe just people like they just started shit like to just make it a bigger thing. But people in the comments were saying that allegedly everything started as a peaceful protest, and then law enforcement ended up doing the whole tear gas thing, and then that's when the whole vandalism thing started.
Yeah, but you know, something that you reminded me, I think not too long ago, there was something similar that they continue blocking the highway. I have mixed emotions with that too. Like, if you're gonna protest, don't affect anybody else, right?
Yeah, like you gotta get to work.
Yeah, or what if there's an emergency happening and people need to go through the highway? I get it, but then at that one point, it's like, why do we have to go to work? Shouldn't like the mass majority of people like stop going to work to support the cause? Yeah, there's mixed emotions. You see, there's always two sides, right? Because I get it. Like, okay, these people that are over there protesting, they're fighting for the cause, which we need people to do that. But then at the same time, if they're acting wild, now you just become one of them.
Exactly.
So it's so hard. I think overall, no matter what side you're trying to like look at, it's a very difficult topic and different spectrum because there's case by case scenarios. In this next video, this video shows a so-called ICE agent that you clearly can tell she's Hispanic and with an accent, and probably worse than ours, that she's detaining a defenseless older man. And when I saw this video, I was like, really? Like, come on, man. Like, you probably come from immigrant parents, and yet again, you're detaining one of your own. I get it that you have a job, but there's different ways to go about it at the same time. Why not help them out? This is the video I'm talking about.
Hey, who are you looking for? Who are you looking for? Who are you looking for? Who are you looking for specifically? No. No les diga nada, no les diga nada.
Manos detrás.
Hey, who are you guys looking for? You guys have a warrant for him? Hey, do you have a warrant for him? No. Hey, what your name and badge number? Name and badge number. Hey, what's your name and badge number? What's your name and badge number?
Back up, bud. Back up.
Don't fucking touch me.
Back up.
Don't touch me.
Back up.
Don't touch
You
me.
want to interfere?
Don't
You wanna
touch
go
me.
too?
Don't fucking touch me. Don't touch me.
Then
Don't
Okay,
touch
pause
me.
it.
let us do our
Don't
job.
fucking touch.
So there's like so much shit going on right there because they obviously just run to the señor and they don't even tell him like, oh, you're being arrested. They don't even read him his rights. They don't even have a warrant. They don't have anything. They just go and handcuff him.
Yeah, I agree. This is the lady I was mentioning.
Okay.
Let us do our
Okay,
job.
do you have a warrant for him?
I don't have to answer to you.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Get away. You know what?
We're gonna warn you one more
We're gonna
time.
warn you.
and
I'm
then
giving
we're
you
gonna
a
take-
space.
You're in my space. You need to back away.
What's your name and badge number?
I'm not telling you.
You have to identify. What's your name and badge number? You have to identify.
Señor.
Name and badge number? So you guys are not identifying now?
We're fully marked.
Okay, but your name and badge number, you don't have a name there. Your name is police?
Okay, hold on. Pause it again. Why are these people not even fucking police? Because to what I mean, I went to school for fucking criminal justice, and to what I remember, like when they have a warrant, they have to identify themselves. Like, this is my name, my badge number, and I have this warrant, and they have to pull out a paper and say like, oh, we can like go around in your house or whatever they're gonna do. But they're not doing any of this. So to me, that shit looks like I'm confused right there.
Yeah, they're saying that all of this is illegal. That they shouldn't be going about the way they're doing things
because
right
there we go back to the whole thing of that I told you that video that I saw that the guy was saying that the girlfriend was a U.S. citizen. What if that señor was a U.S. citizen and they got him without even asking?
Yeah, dude, it's
there's just so much going on that it's so freaking confusing.
I agree.
Can I see yours? Can you turn around?
Okay, so right there he's like, hey, what about you? Can you identify yourself? And he's saying that he's not. So to your point, who are these people?
Could I get your name?
I'm not getting my name.
So you guys don't identify now?
We do identify.
Police.
We're fully marked as police. We didn't lie.
Okay, but can I get his name? Okay, but can I get his name?
Okay, have you realized that when we cross the border or even the border patrols, they have the vest and they always have the thing with the last name. They don't have none of them have that.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. There's just too many shady things going on in this video. I'm so confused.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying that these people or so-called ICE agents, that they might be from like a private organization or something, and they're not specific to ICE. But who are they? Where is it that they're taking them to?
Maybe. That could be true because they're not identifying themselves. They don't have anything. I don't even saw that they had nothing. They don't have nothing on them. So I don't know. Maybe they're just taking them to the deportation centers and then actually turning them into like the actual ICE people instead of ICE. Oh, what if they hired other people that are not ICE to go get the people to do the dirty job? And then they just be like, okay, yeah, we got them. And then now we turn them into you. And then you do the rest of the work. That way, the actual ICE doesn't get their hands dirty.
I agree. Because they don't look like your normal ICE agents. And the thing is that a lot of people in the comment section also, I was reading, and they said something like, hey, if this is technically kidnapping. You're kidnapping these people. One, you don't have a warrant. Two, you're not identifying yourself. So this is the freaking straight out kidnapped.
And the other thing with the warrant is that the person that gets the warrant is supposed to read it, because there's another paper that they can pull off that can look like a warrant and it's not a warrant. It's like another form, but it won't be a warrant. So you need to make sure that it's an actual warrant.
Yeah. To my point, my initial point, like I get this lady, it has to do a job if that is her job, right? But why not go about it differently? Like, why don't you go talk to this older man? Like, oiga, disculpe, yo lo siento mucho, like, pero lo tenemos que detener por esta cosa. Yo soy tal persona. This is what he can do. This is how we can do it. However, I do have to take you in with me. Like, if people were to act a specific way, a different way, it wouldn't be so much outrage. But the way they're detaining all these people, they're detaining them as criminals.
Yeah, because the minute you get detained, that's when you're supposed to get your rights. They're supposed to read you your rights.
Yeah.
And then I don't think none of them are doing it. I know.
So something else differently that this one in specific, it also caught my attention because it's not only the people that are being detained that are getting affected. There was a reporter that she also got shot with a rubber bullet.
Oh,
but shoot. Yeah, but the crazy thing is that it was an accidental. One of the officers literally aimed towards her and shot her on purpose with a rubber bullet.
Oh my God.
Moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
Oh my God.
You saw that, right?
Okay.
What the heck?
Moving in on horseback, firing
Oh
rubber
my
bullets
God.
at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
Watch.
Right there.
Right there. He literally aims towards her with a rubber bullet.
Oh my God.
You okay?
Yeah, so it's just like I was reading through the comments, and like technically, like reporters are there to do a job, to report and just put everything out there, right? And now they're not even being respected.
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple years from now some document is gonna get, what is it, declassified? What's the word? Declassified or disclassified? That like a lot of these people were probably not ICE agents, or there was something else shady going on in this whole thing.
Yeah, seriously.
Because everything is sketch.
Yeah, everything just.
Oh, and then another thing, I don't know if you saw that they were making little kids go and testify to court, like to represent themselves.
No, it didn't.
Yeah,
what
like
the heck?
Yeah, and I was like, dude, like I don't know. That
Wait, what do you
shit
mean? What like
sense.
what?
Like, yeah, they had to go like testify to court, like why. I guess like maybe why they weren't documented.
What the heck? But
like not even like together with their parents. Like they were making them testify by themselves.
Damn, I didn't see that.
And they're underage.
That's insane.
Like there's just so much going on that it just does not make sense. It's not adding up.
Huh. Yeah, and this video right here, it's showcasing pretty much the people throwing rocks to the Border Patrol vehicles. So, like I said, this is not the way to go about it, by throwing rocks and causing more chaos. By, you know, like I think you're just making things worse by doing this type of actions.
feel like for me, the thing that I want to point out here is like that guy that's on the right throwing the rocks.
Yeah.
He must be a U.S. citizen because there's no way that if he was illegal, he was going to be doing that shit out there.
Yeah. I agree. Let's see what the comment section is saying. That's not protesting.
That's vandalism.
Yeah, that's straight up vandalism. Democrats, a party of peace. These Democrats are destroying our own community. This must be peaceful protesting we keep hearing about. Oh, okay. So this must be the peaceful protesting we keep hearing about. So they're being sarcastic, being like, hey, this is not even peaceful.
Exactly.
Like, you're just causing chaos. Republicans will remain in control for 16 years. That's the reason they want us out. So kind of like, hey, they're making their point, but then at the same time, it's not about that because, yeah, just that video, you're singling out this video, but yet again, it's been because of so many illegal things that the ICE agents or so-called ICE agents are doing, you know? So, yeah, it might just be a case that, like you said earlier, that it just got to the breaking point that, hey, enough is enough, right? And people want to stand up and fight for their rights.
Yeah, but then do you think Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks were doing that when they were fighting for the black people?
No.
But it's just like people are just like, it's because it's hard because it's like how much can you resist? I mean, how much can you handle? And then at one point you're going to lash out.
Yeah. I wonder what's the solution for all of this. What do you think? Well, what do you think is the solution for all of this? Like, how's it going to get resolved?
I feel like earlier in the year, like they were doing mass deportations and then everything kind of like it stopped, or at least they stopped giving attention to it on social media and the news, and then right now again it spiked again.
Okay, and you bring up a good point, right? I think we kind of talked about it. That's when we did that previous podcast about like you doing or you working at this immigration or what is it, this detention center.
Yeah.
So we talked about that, and from there to now it had died down and it spiked up again. But then a lot of things too right now is that I think in that podcast we mentioned that Obama deported a lot of people and you hardly ever heard of anything going around. But now because it's Trump, you hear about it more. But then the other side is that the way that Trump is going about it, it's illegal, right? He's not doing it ethically, supposedly, that he's targeting only people with criminal records.
Yeah.
So now it's just like you said, anybody, even citizens are being targeted. So do you feel like there is a difference between the Obama organization and the Trump? Or you feel like we just can't tell because we don't know exactly what's being put out there?
I feel like we can't tell because we don't know exactly what's being put out there. But then keep in mind that when Obama became president, like people were strong for Obama. And I feel like right now there's just so much tension with Trump being president.
Yeah. Here, let me see if I can get ChatGPT fill in and see if we can get some insight right now. And we'll finish it up right now. What's going on, Nomas chat? So right now, currently, we're doing this episode about the current immigration, the mass immigration deportations with ICE nationwide. It's causing a lot of chaos. It's supposedly peaceful protests, but out of so much rage that it's happening, it's causing a lot of vandalism and people just burning cars, breaking into buildings. My question to you is, with the current deportations, how is it that all of this can be resolved?
It's definitely a complex and emotional issue. The protests and the tensions surrounding these deportations show how deeply people feel about immigration policies. Resolving it likely requires a mix of policy changes, community dialogue, and maybe even reforming how immigration enforcement is carried out. It's definitely a conversation that needs input from all sides to find a peaceful solution.
Now, in the past, we had mentioned that Obama had deported more people than Trump. Is that a true statement, or now it has changed?
Yeah, that's a point that often comes up in discussions about immigration. During Obama's presidency, there were indeed a high number of deportations, and he was even called the deporter-in-chief by some immigrant advocacy groups. Under Trump, the policies were more visible and sometimes more...
It got cut off. Can you finish the last sentence?
Sure thing. I was just saying that it's definitely a conversation that needs input from all sides to find a peaceful solution. It's one of those issues where dialogue, empathy, and thoughtful policy changes will really help move things forward.
But right now, so we've seen online right now that Trump or these ICE agents are not only targeting they're not only targeting just illegal immigrants with criminal records. They're literally picking up people from the streets without a warrant or without any evidence of them having a criminal record. Why do you think that is?
It's definitely a concerning situation. Sometimes these actions stem from broader enforcement policies that prioritize a more aggressive approach to immigration. It can also be a result of shifting priorities within immigration enforcement agencies. A lot of people and advocacy groups are pushing for more oversight and transparency to ensure that people's rights are respected in the process.
Is an ICE agent supposed to identify themselves, and are they supposed to have a warrant?
Yes, typically ICE agents are supposed to identify themselves, and in many situations they do need a warrant, especially if they're entering a private residence. When they're apprehending people in public spaces, the requirements can be a bit different, but they still have protocols they need to follow. It's always important for individuals to know their rights in these situations, and legal aid organizations often provide guidance on that.
Ask if the ICE...
Ask it.
Hey, chat, is the ICE agents, are they supposed to read their rights to the people?
Yeah, in general, if someone is being taken into custody, they do have certain rights, and ICE agents should inform individuals of those rights. For example, people have the right to remain silent and to request an attorney. It's definitely important for anyone in that situation to be aware of their rights and to reach out for legal help if they need it.
Okay, and just 2 more things or 3 more things. Okay, so are ICE agents supposedly, are they supposed to have their face covered, or are they supposed to bring down whatever face covering they may have so they can identify themselves to whoever they're going to be detaining?
Typically, ICE agents do identify themselves when they're carrying out enforcement actions. They usually have some form of visible identification, like a badge or an agency jacket, especially during operations. While they might wear protective gear that could include face coverings in certain situations, they should still be identifiable as law enforcement. It's all about making sure that everyone knows who they're interacting with.
So what happens if they don't identify themselves and they don't show their face because of their face covering? Is that illegal?
It can definitely raise some legal and ethical concerns. Law enforcement officers, including ICE agents, are generally required to identify themselves, especially during official operations. If they don't, it could potentially be a violation of protocol and might impact the legality of the arrest or detention. It's always important for law enforcement to maintain transparency and follow proper procedures.
Okay, can you give advice to, let's say we notice that somebody's being taken away by ICE. What legal advice can you provide to those people that are being detained?
Absolutely. If someone is being detained by ICE, one of the most important things is to remain calm and remember that they have the right to remain silent. They don't have to answer questions about their immigration status or where they were born. It's also a good idea to let them know that they can ask for an attorney and should avoid signing anything without legal counsel. Having contact information for an immigration lawyer handy can also be really helpful.
Anything else that can be helpful or that can help their case?
Yeah, absolutely. It's also really helpful for them to make sure that a trusted friend or family member knows what's happening and can reach out to an attorney on their behalf. Keeping copies of important documents like identification and any immigration paperwork in an easily accessible place can be useful too. And of course, if there's any way to document the interaction, like taking notes or getting witness information, that can be really helpful for their legal case as well.
Sounds good. You have anything? Oh. All right. Thank you, Nomas chat. Appreciate it.
You're so welcome. I'm always here if you need anything else. Good luck with the episode, and let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Take care.
Likewise. All right. Final words.
I just feel like from what ChatGPT said and what I said and what we saw in the video, everything they're doing is legal. Like, they're not identifying themselves. They don't have a badge. They're not reading people's rights. Nothing. Yeah. They're just like, oh, here, you look Mexican. I'm going to take you.
Yeah, agree. All right. What emoji are we going to be leaving behind?
The Mexican flag.
Mexican flag. Yeah. And the fist.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Just so you guys know, I like to give a little brief behind the scenes. It's currently 11 o'clock. Went to work at 6 in the morning. Got off from work. Worked outside with Chelo's dad. Freaking tired right now. It's 11. I'm going to have to edit a little bit. And get ready for bed. And wake up early in the morning at 4:30 in the morning. So, it's late. So, if you guys can, just to hit the like button and show support by leaving a comment down below. Really help us out a lot. And, tired. Till next time.
Bye.
Hoy no más.